So that's a glossed frame, window frame or sash. It's got one coat of wattle on it, right round, and it's got 3-in-1 undercoat on it. It's been gapped between the aluminium and the sash, and it's come up really good. I've only left the holes in there where I'm going to put the fittings back on there, so I left those holes. So I'm just about to do this door. I'm going to enamel it with oil base. Now the important thing when you're using oil base is to keep your brushes and whatever handles clean, so you don't end up with paint all over your hands. Worst thing you can do is get sticky oil based enamel on your hands. You're working around a house, if it's on your hands it stays wet for a while, and then you leave smudges all over the place, then you jump in your car and go for a drive and you leave smudges all over your steering wheel. So make sure your hands are clean all the time. The other thing is when you're prepping a door, you make sure that you've got something under the bottom lip, like paper, newspaper, or a doubled up sheet of drop sheet, or a plastic back drop sheet, or newspaper or something, double of newspaper. You slip it underneath, because what happens is you've got to get that bottom edge and you don't want to get the carpet. The other thing is make sure you've got a space of at least a foot on each side, left and right of the doors, because when you're using a roller, and I'm going to be using this roller here, which is a rubber backed roller. This is a rubber one, throwaway, just to get the paint on the door, and then I'm going to tip it off with my brush. Okay, so let's give this a crack. So you've got to cut the bottom in with the brush. Hence the importance of having a covering on the bottom to protect any carpet or anything. Other thing you've got to do is cut around your doorknob. We've taped the doorknob so we don't end up with paint on the doorknob, or we take the doorknob off. If it's a new house, I take all the doorknobs and hinges off. Got a tint from the paint. Lay the door off, lay it off. Let's run your roll across smoothly and evenly. Now normally once your door is undercoated, if your door is undercoated, I use 3-in-1 on it, and you've put an even undercoat on it so it's clear and whited out everything, you normally can get away with, or all you need is one coat of enamel. This is called tipping. I'm tipping it off with a brush. It's running even lines with the brush. I'm using a 63mm here, but normally you'd use a 75 or a 100 or an 88, something a bit bigger. But I'm happy with the 60mm. So you're tipping from top to bottom with your brush. That gives an even lines right across. Tip out from your and around your doorknob, and then you come up from the bottom and it comes to the middle. Like that. That way it blends. Your top line's coming down and your bottom line's going up, it blends in the center. Now if that's done properly, you end up with a beautiful finish. So always check for any runs or anything. Very easy to get runs on using enamel. I find of the enamel generally, if it's not thinned properly and it's too thick, that's when it starts running. Better off putting 2 thin coats on than 1 real thick jobby with enamel. Very nice.